Welcome back to the channel. Today it's November 6th and we're going to be pulling out all these tomatoes. On back behind the tomatoes is an open space. That's where our garlic's going to go. And so we're getting this out of the way and cleaned up and getting prepped for garlic. We usually plant our garlic right around the 1st of November. And today's the 6th, but it's going to be a beautiful week this week, so we'll get it in the ground. We had one little cold snap, frosted and froze and killed the tomatoes, which is expected. We've got others going in the greenhouse behind us, but anyhow, we're going to get this pulled up today, get this all cleaned out, and get the garlic ready for planting. That's what we got going on this week. Here's a look at our list, and so we kind of lay out a list so we kind of know what order to do things and don't get distracted. Hopefully nothing breaks. That always sets us back, but let's get started. So first we'll be cutting these trellis twines, Florida weave twines. We've done it on some of the old rows already. The cherry tomatoes were kind of the last. They survived the longest, and believe it or not, these two rows right here at the peak of the season, we're pulling about 100 pounds a week of cherry tomatoes off those rows. But we'll get the twine out, then we'll pull the plants, then we come in and gather up all the stakes. We'll palletize all that, and then we'll get the fabric up. We'll get this drip line actually runs over to these other small beds, CSA beds, but we'll get all the drip lines out, and then we'll get the T-post pulled. Like I said, we'll get this in between the row fabric, and then last we'll come in with our lifter and we'll lift the plastic mulch and get it rolled up and disposed of. And it sounds easy, but it's a lot of work, so we're going to get after it. Okay, as you just watched, we got the first row of seven or eight done. Won't put you through the agony of that, but we'll get all those cleaned out, and then we come in and get the posts out, and then we can start lifting the fabric in between, and then ultimately the plastic on the rows themselves. Okay, it's day two. We're cleaning out these beds. Becky is out there pulling up fabric, getting the stakes up, which is always fun. The tomatoes are all out, and let's take a look at what else we've done. So all of these stakes, we actually had some furring strips tied on with just poly baling twine. So we've got those stacked up. We'll use those for a couple, 2-3 seasons. What that allows us to do, and you see I've already pulled one of the T-posts. We go with a little shorter T-post because even the long T-posts aren't long enough to trellis tomatoes all the way through the summer. So we tie those furring strips on. That gives us 8 feet, 8 vertical feet, and we tie them on 2 or 3 places along the T-post, and it gives us that extension. One, it lessens the cost because we can go with a shorter T-post, knowing that the longer T-posts still aren't long enough. And so what Becky's over here doing is she is using this improvised tool. So it's basically the stirrup hoe and a little hand cultivator, and you kick it under and boom, it acts as a lever, and you can pull those stakes right out. Makes it a lot easier relatively. Isn't that right, Becky?
That's correct. Relatively.
All right, so as we do the T-posts, I've got just one of these little T-post pullers and a chain. These are, so hopefully you'll hear me over this tractor. These are a big time saver. You just take an open-ended chain with no hook on it and drop it through. This goes over the T-post, boom. You can use the front end loader to pull them right out. You could use the 3-point hitch as well, like say a hay spear or something like that. So that's what we got going on today. We got to get at it, get these beds all cleaned out. Then we throw the tiller on that tractor, and we'll till up all these garlic beds over here and get ready to lay our plastic mulch. The mulch should come in tomorrow, and we use a Buckeye bed shaper plastic mulch layer for that. We'll show that separate video. I'll come back here before the end of the video and show you this thing when it's all cleaned up. Okay, we got all the stakes out. There's some laying in the middle there because now we'll pick up this pallet and then we'll go back around and we'll gather them up. It's a lot easier than trying to hoof them across all those rows. So I'll have Becky picking up this pallet and then we'll go pick up all the stragglers. So our progress today, Becky came out and helped. We got 3 beds undressed. She's working on the fabric in between, getting the staples up and getting it rolled up. And what I learned today was we don't need to undercut it. So we've been using this undercutter. It's got some weeds in it right now, but we undercut the garlic. It's kind of like what's called a bed lifter. And of course we undercut the garlic to make it just easier to get the garlic up out. And I've just naturally come in here and undercut the plastic. Shoot. You get that plastic cleared off so there's nothing in the holes once the tomatoes are out or any weeds are out. And when that Buckeye bed shaper and mulch layer is set just right, it's putting just enough dirt on that to edge to hold it, but not too much. And shoot, I can just take this in, I can just start walking and it walks that plastic right out all in one piece. So that's awesome. So these 2 beds, I walked the plastic out. And this bed I undercut, or maybe I think I undercut these first 2, and then I tested just pulling on this one and it pulled all the way. And I had a huge thistle weed right in the middle there, and so the plastic broke there, and so then I just pulled on from there. But if there's nothing obstructing those center holes, it pulls right out. So that's awesome. And more to come tomorrow. So it's a long video, but we're doing this end to end, so you get to see what's going on. Also, we started tilling our first till. It's so dry. We're in a drought significantly. We haven't had significant rain in almost 50, 60 days here. Irrigation's paying its dividends, but we weren't irrigating anything here. This was fallow field. So anyhow, we're gonna go garlic from there where the cucumber trellises were, and we'll actually end up encroaching about 3 or 4 rows over into this year's tomato bed. It's been a couple of years since any garlic was in there, so we should be good. Anyhow, More to come. So I was talking to one of our subscribers, and once we get this fabric up, in the past I've undercut because of just doing it with the garlic, and thought I had to kind of undercut this plastic in order to get it up. But I'm going to set this on the tripod and show you, once you get, even with some of this grass, you get your mulch layer set up right to where it's just putting a thin layer, even if it's dried and compacted, even with some grass growing in it. Just watch, you get the end work loosed and you just start working your way down. So we use, I think it's the 1.2 mil plastic mulch. So, and it's not the biodegradable, so we have to dispose of it. But I've heard that the biodegradable, you might have to till it in, and then it takes a while to decompose depending on the type. But let's take a look at how we can pull these up fairly quickly. Okay, so I'm not even going to do time lapse. I'll just do it real time. If it gets too boring, I will speed it up when I edit the video. Now, in some cases, a little bit of that weight of dirt may get on the thing. You'll see me just brush it off. Main thing is you got to have everything out of the top of the bed.
All right, so you notice a little ways down, we had some pretty thick grass that started to, get heavy. So I just pulled it out of the way and boom, we go on. So if you can get some of that grass off the edges, it helps, but it's not critical. And that took me 5 minutes, 150-foot row bed. And the tomato field is cleaned out. We're gonna come and bush hog a little bit more around the edges. We're gonna bush hog some of these CSA plots. You can see we got everything palletized, the stakes, the T-posts, the fabric, and the drip lines. I've actually got 5 more drip lines over there I gotta put on this pallet. It's nice to be able to palletize everything from a storage and moving around perspective. And then we'll start tilling, and then we'll start shaping the beds for the garlic that's going to plant over here. Probably about half of this set of beds plus in between these beds and where the cucumber trellises are. So
Okay, it's the morning of day 3 of our tomato removal and garlic bed prep. I had to finish up last night. We had to do some cross tilling to get the valleys of the former beds tilled in. So I've got to go back this morning and just do a little more deep tilling now where those tire tracks are. I'll do one more pass and we'll set the tiller up to go as deep as we can get it, and that'll prep it then for the bed layer or the bed shaper and mulch layer to come in and form the next set of beds. So again, thanks for watching. Don't forget, subscribe, share it. We're trying to grow the channel. Hit that notification bell as well. It'll alert you when we do videos and post them up. Some channels do it on a schedule. We're not quite that mature yet, so we put the videos up as often as we can get them together and get them up there and share them to you. So if you hit that notification bell, it'll just send you an alert once we've posted a new video, and that way you can see it. Thanks again for watching.